Everybody's having a good day. It's December 30th, 2017. I had 3 dreams last night, and all of them be interesting. So I'll just read to you what I dreamed, and then tell you what they mean and things like that. Let's get to it. I dreamed that I had went to some flea market. It was Sunday, and I never bought anything. The weather was in the afternoon, and it was sunny. And I had videoed this real pink rainbow sunset cloud. I had done that on the iPhone 7. So I was at the back of this flea market, the booths that were in the very back. And they had fireworks, and I grabbed a sleeve of those things that you put on the ground and they spin around and they go up like that. In the dream I called them flying saucers. Well, everyone said, the people that were selling them said, "Not on Sunday." And they said, "Not on Sunday," I think twice. And then they said, they don't sell, nor can they sell fireworks on Sunday. And then I said, well, another person I knew got hers offline on Sunday. And they just kind of chuckled. Then I realized that I was going to be going to my mother's house that evening and would drive my truck from Alatoona, that's around in my area. And it was funny because this was in Oklahoma, and Oklahoma, turned into this Alatoona, and I was not going to be going back to the flea market. Then I thought a prayer to my mother. I began leaving. Then the two who ran the market said, as I was leaving, I wasn't talking to them. I was walking to the car, or the truck, And one said to the other, "Hey, you ain't been drinking that red paint." And, he was moving this tent, from one place that they had taken down. And I never got any fireworks, and I woke up. Let's just look at this. I dreamed that I went to some flea market. Fleas are demon spirits. And Sunday, in this case, is telling you to remember the sun up in heaven. Not S-U-N, but S-O-N. So I never bought anything, or that means that I never really believed anything that they had. The weather was sunny, which represents, favor. I had videoed this real pink rainbow sunset cloud, and that has to do with the covenant, I think Genesis 9. I was back at the flea market, and the back represents the past. They had fireworks, and I grabbed a thing of flying saucers. Well, just go read about Area 51 and Jeremiah 51. Fireworks are works that when they're judged, they burn up and come to nothing. Those are fireworks. And then everyone said, "Not on Sunday." So if you remember the Son of God, your works won't burn up. Sunday. And they don't sell. And Babylon buys and sells, so they don't sell, nor can they sell fireworks on Sunday. And when the Son of God comes back, they won't be buying and selling like that anymore. They can't sell them on Sunday. And I said with another party, she got hers offline. Well, the line to life is very narrow, so she was offline. And they chuckled, and then I realized I was going to my mother's house. Your mother is spiritually, what births what you believe in, is what it represents. That evening, or the end when the prophetic day was over, and I would drive my truck from there, and your truck is your chariot, and Alatuna, which represents all people, and Oklahoma, this flea market from Oklahoma turned into where I'm living at now, and Oklahoma has a lot to do with the word red. And I was not going to be going back to the flea market. Then I thought a prayer to my mother, which is straightforward. I began leaving. The two who ran the market said to the other, "You ain't been drinking that red paint," or it should say, "Sin is red, and you hadn't been thinking about sin and drinking sin." And paint covers, and sin is red, and it covers. You have not been taking in sin, or you have not been drinking that red paint. As I was leaving, this was as they took down the tent. And Babylon's tents won't be anymore. And they moved it. I never got any fireworks, and I woke up. A lot of fireworks go on in hell. So the next one, I dreamed that I was watching the sky, here in Georgia. And I saw on my iPhone 7 a picture of a rainbow cirrus iridescent cloud. A picture of it over New York City. And it was shaped like a sword. The cloud was shaped exactly like that. And the cloud was that exact in shape. And, it just hovered over the city. Well, as I watched the sky where I was not in New York. Then on my iPhone 7, I looked at other brilliant rainbow clouds that were in the New York City. And I was just swiping through them, swiping them by. Well, then I heard the song by Real Life called "Send Me an Angel" all through the dream. And I woke up. Well, this dream was pretty straightforward, looking up to heaven, and an iPhone 7 is perfection. And the rainbow in the Bible had to do with covenant. And it was over New York City. New York City has rebuilt Babylon because they rebuilt that city after 9/11, and it's parabolic of rebuilding, the world's trade. And as I watched the sky where I was, then on my iPhone I looked at the brilliant rainbow clouds like I told you. And in real life, Jesus was real life, and ask him to send you an angel, send me an angel. I woke up. So the next dream I had was I dreamed something else with New York City. I was looking at my iPhone 7 again, and the thumbnail dream about the tidal wave, and of the sunset being darkened, on the thumbnail. Well, as I was standing looking at the picture of it, and I was where I was living at, looking at the picture, with the phone. And I had just that picture of New York on there. And as I was looking at the picture of that darkened sunset, that thumbnail of that tidal wave, that it said coming, that I don't know where it's coming from. The picture on that all of a sudden changed to hell. And I was hovering over hell looking at the picture that had changed. I saw a lava lake. It was glowing orange yellow. It was the Lake of Fire. I probably hovered about 100 feet, but there was no connotation that I was going to be going to it. But then a voice said, sadly, most Americans end up here. And the lake was pretty big, and the shores were solid rock and were very barren. And it was full of molten rock. And it said, this place was in hell, and New York City would wind up going to this place. And again, don't read Chad, go ask God about it. With these dreams, no dates were set, no dates of any kind were given, so when this happens, I don't know. And you know, since I wasn't given any date, I'm not going to set a date or add to it. I just confess I dreamed this last night. As bad as this stuff was, I dreamed it. And just telling what I dreamed is all. And you know what the meaning of it would be. And I hope everybody has a blessed day. And the sword cloud that was over New York City, it was shaped just like that sword I showed you. And the cloud was like this one that I showed the other day that I took here. It was a sword that was rainbow colored like that, and a cloud up overhead. And hope everybody has a good day.